What's going on, guys? My name is Dave Capote and I am a film and digital photographer out of the Austin area. Recently, I had just made the switch over to Fujifilm from Sony, which might make a lot of people mad, but for me, made me super happy. As you can see behind me, I have a whole shelf full of film cameras that I love shooting film. I love everything about it. I love the whole process of taking your film and getting it developed, and I scan all of my film at home. And before I switched to Fujifilm, I had a really tough time just trying to match the colors of, let's say, Portra 400 or Ektar or any of those color negative films that I was shooting. The Sony was just not cutting it for me. So I was originally shooting with a Sony A7S II early in my career, switched to a Sony A7 III, and finally a Sony A7R III, which was way more than any camera that I've ever used before. And making that switch really opened my eyes to what a high megapixel camera could do for me. And the only drawback was I was spending so much time trying to emulate those colors. And I love those colors. I love the way that the film stocks would make each film look edited before they were even edited, if that makes sense. And primarily what I shoot is, like I said, Portra 400 and Ektar, and Sony was just not cutting it for me. And I go to a camera store in Austin called Precision Camera, and in the store I have an awesome rep. His name is Robert Backman, and every time I go in there, he's trying to sell me something new, and I don't blame him because I love cameras just as much as he does. But he passed over to me a Fujifilm medium format camera. It was actually a 50S. And right now my main film camera is a Mamiya 7. And so what this is a medium format film camera that shoots 120 film. So the negatives are ginormous. They're massive compared to the 35mm cameras that I have up there. And so once I shot this camera, there was no going back. Like, seeing the negatives scanned and blown up on a screen will blow your mind. Like, just the sheer detail, especially with this Mamiya 7. So I have two lenses on here. I have the 80 and I have a 50mm. And the 80mm f4 is by far the sharpest lens that I've ever used in my entire life. I wish, and I probably will, I just found out that you can buy an adapter for it, but I've always wanted to get that lens on a digital body or possibly anything else of that sort. So this is a rangefinder style camera. And so when I was using that 50S that Robert had shown me, it's a digital medium format camera, and it was kind of bulky. And I know that for that big of a sensor, you need to have a big camera, but I wasn't super sold on it until he told me that there was another one, of course, and it is this beast of a camera. This is the Fujifilm 50R. I think retail right now it's $3,500. Now that it's been knocked back $1,000. And what this is a digital medium format range finder style camera. If you look at this, almost exactly the same. And these bodies just stacked on top of each other are the same exact dimensions. And so once I saw this and I picked it up for the first time, took a photo, previewed it, zoomed in a hell of a lot, I was immediately hooked. I mean, this thing, I have a 110 f2, which for medium format is ridiculous. You will never want shallower depth of field. I mean, you will, but you won't get it. And so this is like an 85 1.4 equivalent, but with a medium format sensor, the bokeh on it is just way past the separation that you get with any kind of full frame. And so, I mean, I don't know if you can kind of see the sensor, massive. And then this glass, oh my goodness. I'm a huge nerd when it comes to camera gear. But the biggest thing that not only shooting Fujifilm, but just medium format in general, the biggest thing for me was Fuji's colors. I've shot Canon before and it comes close, but just the way that the Fujifilm medium format, like the highlight fall off and the way that it just renders the colors to exactly what you're trying to see or trying to emulate that you're seeing, it really just is unmatched. Besides that, you get all the film simulations. So I'm really new to Fujifilm, so I just recently found out about Fuji Recipes, which is a film simulation website that pretty much builds all of the film stocks that you would shoot on film. And I've been messing around with that a lot with Portrait 400, Portrait 800. There's even Kodachrome on there, Tri-X. I mean, you can literally name any kind of film stock that you shoot on film and they will replicate it digitally. And from what I'm seeing, it's pretty damn close. I mean, there's always gonna be that differential between film and digital. No matter how much you edit a photo, it's never gonna look the same that a film photo gives you. But this camera is the closest thing to it. So, I mean, for the price, is it worth it? Probably not. I do a lot of studio work. I do a lot of branding and content, and I'll show some examples right here where it's just, you can zoom forever on this camera and the resolution just keeps up time and time again. It blows my mind when I can zoom 1:1 and see little details on photos that I would have never seen on a 24mm or even the 42 megapixel A7R III that I was using. It just blows it out of the water. So I'm going to start shooting Fujifilm as much as I can, especially, I mean, these are the only digital cameras. I'm filming this on an X-T4 right now. Like, I went all in. I sold my A7 III, my A7R III to a friend, and I am all in with Fujifilm. Like, picked it up, saw the colors, that was it. But I'm just gonna try and shoot as much as possible. Maybe I'll make a few videos on what I'm shooting. Hopefully, if clients don't care, maybe I can show some of that work. If not, I'm a big landscape photographer. These are some of my landscape photos. Most of them are shot on the A7R III. So, like I said, colors aren't exactly what I saw, but I love the way that they look anyways. I'm a moody style photographer, even if it is, you know, bright landscapes, golden hour, anything like that. But I'm super excited to start this journey with Fujifilm. I'm really looking forward to seeing the results that the GFX 50R gives me, especially this X-T4. I mean, I've been so impressed with just the video aspects, as well as some of the stills. It's just been like this lens right here that I picked up. This is a, let's see if I can get it, Fujifilm 50-140 f2.8, and this is like the equivalent of a 70-200 on any of the full frame cameras. I wish I could show you. I mean, I'm filming with the X-T4, but the APS-C, the mount for the APS-C compared to that GFX is just so small, but I'm shocked with the results that I'm getting with this as well. But I'm shocked with the results that this is getting as well. My ice machine just went off and made a huge noise, so I'm just trying to ignore that. But super excited, really looking forward to the future with Fujifilm. Hopefully I can build up a profile and right now work on becoming a Fujifilm ambassador, just with some of the work that I already have been doing. So yeah, looking forward to it. See you next time.